Cause and effect analysis can be used in many ways, but its primary purpose is to help you solve problems. The problem is the effect. Whatever brings about that effect is the cause. The cause and effect technique will speed the identification of the true cause or causes so that corrective action can be taken. The effect is stated in the box on the right-hand side of the chart. An example many of us may be familiar with is bad tasting coffee. All of the possible causes are listed to the left. How do problems get solved? In all too many situations, it is the manager who attempts to personally solve all the problems for everybody. But even if your manager does not know the details of each person's job, this system will be less than successful. Sometimes the technical staff get a crack at solving some of the problems. Their limitations are similar to those of the manager, who tries to solve everyone else's problems. What about asking the people who do the work to try solving problems affecting the work they do? It seems logical, but unfortunately, such an approach is rarely used. Cause and effect analysis works best with small groups like this. We get the best results by pulling together. Unless these characters start doing just that, they will never achieve their goal. Each person is the expert at his own job, a member of a team. This is especially important to remember when a group uses cause and effect analysis. The uses of cause and effect analysis are almost unlimited. It is just as applicable in a research lab or an office as in a factory. There are 7 steps in the construction and use of a cause classification diagram. First, write in the quality problem on the right-hand side and draw an arrow pointing to it. Second, determine the major categories for grouping possible causes. The most popular examples of major causes are the 4 M's: machines, materials, manpower, and methods. You can use more or fewer major causes, and you do not have to use any of the 4 M's if they do not apply. It is just an easy way to get started. If the 4 M's are not appropriate, there are numerous other choices. These are some examples. The number of major causes can vary and can be more or less than 4. The third step is the brainstorming session, where everyone participates. As each possible cause is suggested, it is added to a branch. This continues until all possible causes are exhausted. It is important to construct the diagram by including the ideas of everyone who works in your area, the supervisor, staff personnel, and others. Encourage them to speak out with their ideas and suggestions. When brainstorming, it is important to remember that clues may surround us, but unless our mental blindfold is removed, we may miss seeing or thinking of those causes that are important. As the ideas are written down, the chart should not look like the top diagram. The purpose of the cause and effect chart is to group like ideas together. A big help to the leader is for a member to say, for example, under manpower, and then state his suggested cause. An excellent way to brainstorm is to take turns at suggesting ideas. Limit each person to 1 idea per turn. However, if you cannot think of anything, simply say pass. Brainstorming is not the time to criticize others. The past is finished. Think of solutions. At every step in the process, from brainstorming on, remember the 5 W's and an H: what, when, where, why, who, and how. This is the result of a cause and effect brainstorming session. Every idea is listed with no editing or change, and on a blackboard or chart large enough for everyone to see it. The best ideas are not always revealed in the first brainstorming session. Brainstorming is one method of saturation or gathering information. Saturation also includes all information gathering, such as reading, experimentation, and obtaining the views of others outside the group. Try to involve non-group members in making suggestions, but make sure you give them credit for their ideas. This is particularly important when brainstorming is being used in cause and effect analysis. The next step in the process allows the ideas to incubate. "Let's sleep on it" is the phrase often heard to describe this step. The group should allow the ideas to soak in for a while. Then, at a predetermined time, discuss the problem again, and many new ideas will surface from the subconscious incubation. The meeting following the incubation period is usually rewarded by several members seeing things more clearly. This illumination generates even more ideas. The process can be repeated until the group feels they have arrived at the true cause or the most effective solution. Step 4 is where the most likely causes are circled. Thus begins the process of sifting out the best of all possible causes that were suggested. Selecting the most likely causes depends on the same group of people who did the brainstorming that preceded it. And this is the chart they just finished. Each item will be examined to determine the most likely causes. These will be circled. Deviations are important considerations to keep in mind when examining each cause. Look where they have occurred in the hardware, processes, or methods. When a deviation is detected, that possible cause should be circled. 5 is where the most likely cause will be identified from those possible causes that were circled during step 4. The process of identifying the most likely cause could very well be a scientific one. The alternatives are compared and values assigned to each according to their estimated importance. Once the most likely cause is selected, the second and third choices are also indicated. Our goal in this step is to focus in on the number 1 most probable cause. We have completed this step and are now ready to move on to the next step. Step 6 is not only fun, but vitally important. Verifying the validity of a cause requires a test of some kind. An extremely simple example of verification is a car that fails to start. Several obvious causes include a flat battery, worn points, dirty plugs, lack of petrol or wet ignition. Starting with the easiest cause to verify, you would check the petrol gauge. If that is okay, then move to the next item, and so on down the list. As you will remember, lack of spares had been selected as the first most likely cause. How could you verify that? It may be as simple as ensuring that a complete set of spares is available. If service is improved, then you can probably assume you have found the true cause. But what if the test indicates that your number 1 most probable cause is not the real cause? Then it's back to your cause and effect analysis. Select the second most likely cause and conduct an appropriate test for it. If that fails, go to your third choice, and so on, until you succeed in finding the true cause. Step 7 is where you get the show on the road, by carrying out whatever correction was indicated. The decision to implement corrective action is sometimes within the authority of the group. Many times, however, implementing the correction requires higher authority. If so, the implementation would be delayed until the group could make a presentation to their manager. The manager would thus be acquainted with the complete story and would decide whether to authorize the corrective action. The effect does not always have to be a problem. In this example, the group is going to use cause and effect analysis to brainstorm for a new theme. When selecting a new theme, you should attempt to pick one your group can control. Avoid themes that will help straighten out those other people. There are always plenty of things to fix in your own area. Post the completed charts in the work area. They attract attention and will be referred to constantly. Another advantage is that members can make additions or revisions at any time. Even visitors to the area like to get in on the act.